In a world that's just obsessed with follower counts and whatever's trending this minute, what does real, lasting influence actually look like? Well, today we're going to tear down the old ideas of leadership and rebuild them. We're going to get into the heart of what ethical power really is. So let's dive in. And this quote right here, this is the core idea for our entire conversation. It's a huge shift in thinking, right? It suggests leadership isn't measured by the size of the crowd you can gather, but by the legacy you build, the actual path you clear for other people.
And look, everything we're talking about today isn't just theory. Our insights are grounded in the incredible work of the Women in Leadership series. This is a project that documents the real-world journeys of 100 reference-level professionals. So these principles, they've been forged in actual experience.
So, I want to ask you directly, what does leadership truly mean to you? Get an answer in your head and just hold on to it. We're about to explore 4 principles that might just change your perspective completely.
All right, let's get into our first principle, purpose as voice. Now, this isn't about having some fancy mission statement on a plaque. No, this is about purpose being the clearest, most powerful, most consistent guide in everything a leader does and says. It's your true north.
And Akhanda Jacobi just puts this perfectly. Her statement here frames purpose not as some quiet whisper, but as the loudest, most powerful voice a leader has. And believe me, she lives this every single day. And here's the proof. This is where you see that purpose translated into real action. I mean, look at this list. Akhanda didn't just have a purpose, she built platforms for it. She founded Forwama to empower women in her field. She launched a consulting firm to train others. She even wrote a book to help people find their own potential. Every single one of these roles is a different channel for the same clear voice. Okay, so if purpose is the voice, what gives that voice its power? Well, that brings us to our second principle, courage as decision. This totally reframes courage. It's not a personality trait, something you're either born with or not. No, it recasts it as a deliberate, conscious choice.
Irina Nambinadandro gives us this incredibly powerful insight. Think about it. It's not about being fearless. It's about looking fear right in the eye, acknowledging it's there, and then deciding to act anyway. That single decision, that's where true leadership begins.
And here's what that decision looks like in the real world. Irina made the incredibly courageous choice to completely pivot her career from construction to leadership development. She got certified, joined organizations like the John Maxwell team and Toastmasters, but not just for herself. She had a clear mission, to inspire women in their 40s in her home country of Madagascar. That is courage in action, a conscious choice to serve a goal that's bigger than you. Next up, our third principle is intentionality as catalyst. Okay, so if courage is the decision to act, intentionality is the focused energy that actually turns that action into real transformation. It's about doing the right things for the right reasons over and over again. And Faith Michael is the absolute embodiment of this principle. She sees intentionality as the active ingredient for change. For her, growth isn't something that just happens by accident. It's designed, it's engineered through deliberate, focused systems. To really understand the scale of her intentionality, I just want you to look at this number. Over 80,000. What on earth could that represent? It represents more than 80,000 people, spread across 35 different countries, who are all part of her ReLeaders book club. Now, this isn't just some book club. It's a global engine for growth that she intentionally built from the ground up to make learning accessible and life-changing. And this right here is the key to our whole philosophy. Faith gets it. True influence has to start on the inside. You can't lead other people effectively until you intentionally lead yourself. And for her, that entire process kicks off with the simple, powerful act of expanding your mind. Okay, so let's recap. Purpose gives you a voice. Courage helps you decide to use it. Intentionality focuses its power. But leadership isn't just about what you do, it's about how you show up. And that brings us to our final, critical principle, presence as dialogue. Dr. Vandita Lodku, an expert in communication, just nails this idea. She reminds us that how we carry ourselves, how we genuinely listen, how we hold space for other people, this silent dialogue is often way more powerful than any words we could ever say. And for her, this is not just a professional philosophy, it's deeply personal. What I find so compelling here is how she's intentionally mentoring her own 8-year-old daughter Elia in poise and public speaking. She knows that leadership, That presence, it's taught and it's modeled, starting right there at home. So there you have it. Purpose as your voice, courage as your decision, intentionality as your catalyst, and presence as your dialogue. These 4 things aren't just separate skills you can learn. Together, they form the very architecture of modern, ethical influence.
Which brings us right back to the core question, doesn't it? It's not about what you achieve for yourself. It's about what you leave behind for others. What trail are you going to create for people to follow?
The stories of these 4 incredible leaders are really just the beginning. If any of this has inspired you to rethink your own leadership journey, I really encourage you to explore the full archive. There's so much more wisdom to discover. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.